How's it going, Lost Ark? Sethphir here, and I'm here today to bring you a Mari Secret Shop Guide. I'm going to tell you all of the good information you need to know about Mari's Secret Shop and how you can access it and make use of it even as a free-to-play player. I am free-to-play myself, and I have purchased tons of items from Mari's shop, so I'm going to give you all of the big value items as well as a secret formula that is going to help you determine whether or not something is worth it for you. So let's go ahead and dive into the Mari shop. We will simply press F4 and we will be able to see that section. So on the left side we have the actual shop. That's something separate entirely. The Mari shop is something you will purchase with crystals, and crystals is something that free-to-play players can get their hands on. You can simply go over to a currency exchange down in the bottom, and this is going to be useful information because we can now trade gold for crystals. So you can trade gold that you earn in the game for crystals, and you can use those crystals in the Mari Secret Shop to purchase a lot of good items at very discounted prices. So if we look at this right now, we can see that 95 crystals, which it takes a 5% tax on the 100 crystals, so that's why it's 95, is worth about 350 gold, right? We'll up it up a little bit. So 350 gold is worth 95 crystals, and this is going to be important information because that's going to teach us how to price everything. So let's go ahead and go back to the shop itself. And as you can see, we can see two sections here. Mari shop, Secret Shop is divided into two sections. It is enhancement materials and trade skill materials. Enhancement materials is exactly as it sounds. It's going to be honing materials used to increase your gear score and your item level. The trade skill section will cover things like gems, card packs, rapport chests, and even some consumable and trade skill items and the occasional Una task daily boost ticket. Mari Shop refreshes every 6 hours, so you will see quite a lot of new things coming in frequently. And you could scroll back about, I'd say, a couple days, like 3 to 4 days worth, and you can kind of go back and see and still purchase a lot of these items, but it does have a limit, so eventually they cycle out. So you're going to want to pick up the good stuff when it's there. So that brings us to our next point. How do we know what is the good stuff? So we're going to use that formula that we kind of looked at before. We know that 350 gold right now, currently, is worth 95 crystals. So if I go ahead and look at the items that I purchased here, I purchased a small blue shard pouch for 38 gold. There's 10 of them in it, and that is a good buy for me. Now, the way I can know this is I can hit escape and I'll press Alt-Y, which will pull up the auction house for me. I'm going to go ahead and search up that item, and I'm going to go to honing materials, and I'm going to look up and see what that small life shard pouch is. This is the tier 2 life shard crystals, and that is going for 131 gold in the shop each right now. So I got 10 of those, which means that I got 1,310 gold worth of items for 38 crystals. Now that's really good considering 350 gold will buy me 95 crystals. So I'm getting insane value here. You can use this simple formula to calculate all of your purchases. So if you're curious or not whether something is worth it, then you can simply do the math and figure out if it is worth your time for buying that item. So I'm going to go through and give you my best picks and what I purchased, and especially kind of why I purchased them at what tier, so you can use that information and just kind of know that these are going to be good things. But keep in mind that these prices will always change, so definitely double check with that formula because the price of gold could go up or down depending on how the game is advancing, and especially when new content hits, you will see the prices of these materials fluctuate for sure. So for me, right now, currently, I purchase a lot of tier 2 shard pouches because it is the biggest thing that is locking my alts out from getting to tier 3. So this is a no-brainer for me. The tier 1 shard pouches are very valuable. However, most of my alts are out of tier 1 at this point in time, so I do not need them anymore. The destruction stones and guardian stones of the various tiers don't seem to be worth it right now. I did the math on them, and most of them do not check out to be worth more gold than they cost crystals. I will say that any tier 3 upgrading component that will add extra honing chance, like this solar blessing, especially this rare one, 15 of these is quite a steal for 150 gold, especially if you're pushing high levels trying to get that 1400 for phase 3 3 Argos. This is something that's going to come in very handy. The green version is a decent buy as well, and the purple version is slightly not worth at the moment. You might as well just buy them out of the shop. But again, I would just double check with all this math and make sure that at your server, in your place right now, currently, these are good to go and decent price for you. But that's what I have been buying mostly in this section. I will definitely pick up any tier 3 honor leapstones or greater honor leapstones, because those are very valuable. You're just kind of locked behind time, behind Una dailies for those. So if you ever see a greater honor leapstone, you'll get 5 of them for 50 crystals, and I think they go for like 130 gold a piece, so it's obviously a really good deal. That one's very nice, so I'd like to pick up honor stones and things like that. So the biggest takeaway here is look at shard pouches that you need currently in the tier, look at honor stones that you need currently in the tier, and double check the math and make sure they're worth. So check those leapstones, and then the tier 3 honing materials are definitely always going to be a nice deal, but double check that math and make sure that it's all looking good there. So other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for this section. You can see I buy pretty much everything that is useful for me at this time, that is worth it, cost efficient on the auction house, right? That's what we're looking at. So now we're going to go into the second section of Mari's shop, and this is going to be where there's a lot of decision making and some really funky stuff that I have a bone to pick with the developers. I don't understand what is going on here. So Mari's shop is going to be filled with a lot of goodies on the trade skill section, and the first thing that in-game players are probably going to be taking a peek at is these legendary card to rare packs. Now this one at 1 for 45 crystals is a decent deal, and I'll tell you why. Because if I go down here to the bottom of my screen, I can see this item, or this little thing that says link, and this is going to give me shop odds for items. You can see when it's anything that's RNG, they have to list out the RNG, right? It's just a thing. So if I click this link down at the bottom, you will see this page pulled up, and it's going to show me the odds of getting something in any sort of RNG related pack, right? So if I scroll down to card packs, I can see this first one that's a legendary to epic card pack, but I've never seen this in Mari's shop, and I've bought and checked everything. I've never seen this hit the table, but it apparently has a 20% chance to give you a legendary card pack, which everybody is after the Light Salvation and all those legendary sets. So this is a very nice thing to get if you see it. If you ever see that, I would say go ahead and get it, but we haven't seen that one yet. But this is the item in question. The legendary to rare common card pack, we can see that it has a 4% chance to give you a legendary card, which is something you're going to be really seeking after, as well as the 80% on the rare card pack and 16 on the epic. These are nice to have because they tend to be the harder card sets to get for the end game, and there are a lot of good sets locked behind them. So for me, it's really worth, because even if I get a rare card pack as a support player, most of my support cards are blue cards anyways, so I'm gonna, getting an 80% chance at a blue card, not too bad. Plus I can also get a legendary for my DPS characters and other stuff down the line, which is a good deal. And then we'll talk about the any card packs. It's only got a 0.5% chance on the legendary, so it's incredibly low. So that makes them not as worth, especially given the prices they have in the shop seem to make no sense at all, which really confuses me. But we'll go ahead and get into that in detail. But there's a full listing of all the chances of anything that's RNG related. That also includes gems and rapport items, so if you want to check that one out, just simply click the link at the bottom of the screen when you're in the shop menu. It'll hit this little button down here. Alright, so now that we know that, we're going to go ahead and dive into the trade skill section, and we're going to talk about this. So the card packs is something I would recommend for higher end players, people that are already 1400, because you're probably not going to be spending as much on honing materials because, well, you're already maxed, right? So now you're going after card sets, you're going after rapport, you're going after, different things like that in super late game activities. The rapport chests are decent, but I found that I have so many Providence stones to trade in for rapport that I'm not really sure if it's worth. But if it was something that I was going to do, I would definitely buy the legendary Rapport chests because they make more sense, like crystal-wise, because you get a lot of value because each legendary item is worth 2,000 Rapport points and maybe even a little bit of bonus if it's the favorite item, and whereas the epic ones are only worth 300 points with a tiny little bit of bonus if it's the favorite item. So as you can see, it's going to be a lot more worth your time to get the legendary Rapport chests. There are like consumable items. I usually pass on these, and you can see that the prices of this like 5 any card pack is way too high. Like 200 crystals is way too much. And then here's where we get into the tricky stuff. Let's talk about this legendary to rare card pack times 1, 45 crystals, right? So if I scroll through, I can see that I bought another one for 45 crystals, and then I come across this legendary to rare card pack times 3. What? For 197 crystals. That is nowhere near worth, right? I could buy 3 of the 1 packs for cheaper than this. And the one that really threw me for a loop is if I scroll up even more, there is a legendary to card pack 2 that I purchased right here for 80 crystals. So it gave me a deal for buying 2, but if I want to buy 3, it's going to charge me 3 times as much. Like, what? So the prices in the shop seem random. So like, really take a look at these and be like, is that worth? Is that a trap? Because there are a lot of traps in here, and it's going to go the same with this any card pack. I've seen 5 any card packs for 200. I've seen 20 any card packs for 200, which was decent. I actually bought that one. So it's going to vary, and that's also going to come with the gem chest. So sometimes it'll be like a tier 2 gem chest times 10 or times 20, and same with the tier 3. I would not recommend buying the tier 2 gems because they're basically worthless, but I would recommend the tier 3 gems if it comes in a 20 pack. The 10 pack is probably not that much. I mean, you might as well just buy gems on the auction house at that point. But if you do see a 20 pack, that one can be nice to have. And I also pick up any Unatas daily because an Unatas daily bonus will allow a character to get an extra daily, which is essentially 4 to 5 greater honor leapstones. So it's about the same math as just buying greater honor leapstones or whatever you may get for that tier. Oh, here we can see the example of that tier 3 gem pack times 20 for only 73 gems, so I thought that was a pretty decent deal, so I went ahead and picked that one up myself. So you're really going to have to snoop around in here. There is also a very rare item called the Guild Honor Banner. I buy this because I care about my guild, so I like to use them. It will allow you to get an extra daily boost in terms of XP, so it can be a nice thing to do, but if you don't really care about your guild, I probably wouldn't worry about it. It's not like worth the bloodstones or anything like that, but this section is going to have like some general trade skill and utility things that you can get, like convenient stuff, but the stuff that's really worth is like the card packs, sometimes the gem chest, the Unatas daily tickets, as well as the Guild Honor Banner. In my opinion, is pretty decently worth. You just have to be really careful and read what you're getting, because you don't want to accidentally buy 3 legendary rare card packs for 197, right? Like, that's not worth. And you definitely don't want to buy 5 card packs for 20 crystals. That's definitely strange. And see, the pricing is so odd. Like 5 any card packs for 203 crystals or 10 for 180. What? I could get twice as much for less? Like, I have no idea what's going on here. So it's definitely a little bit of a funky section there. But that's pretty much going to be it. I have used this Mari shop quite a lot. If you look at my history, I've traded in gold for crystals so many times, probably hundreds of thousands of gold. Like, the list goes down. I've probably consumed like, I don't know, 20, 30,000 crystals, and this is all free to play. I haven't swiped at all. I literally just convert my gold and I sell my stuff and I just buy more crystals, right? And I buy more stuff on the auction house, and it's worked really well for me. It got me to 1400. It allowed me to get a lot of good deals in the Mari shop as time went on, which really boosted up my efficiency and the way I was progressing my character. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this one. I hope this guide helped you and showed you how to make smart purchases and how to effectively use the Mari shop even as a free-to-play player. And if you like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button down below. We have a Discord and social medias if you're interested in that as well. And make sure to just stay tuned for more New World and Lost Ark content in the future. Thanks for watching the video, and we will catch you in the next one.